and welcome to a new vlog and trip report, and today we are traveling on the so-called Mill Railway, or in German Mühlenbahn, from Uelzen to Braunschweig, and here on the map you can see our route today. This route is operated by erixx with a Lint 54, and we will take a closer look at this train now in this video. Here we are at the Hundertwasser station Uelzen, designed by the famous artist Hundertwasser. I had a very short connection from the metronome to my train. Here you can see the Lint 54, and as there were a lot of people changing that train, I was quite lucky that I was one of the first ones to board the train, so I can show you this train even though it got crowded pretty soon afterwards. So we have multi-purpose areas and mainly seating areas with base of 4 and airline style seating. Some seats do have power sockets. My seat doesn't have a power socket, so if you need power sockets, make sure to choose the right one. There are no tables or other amenities available, so it's a rather basic train. The seats are quite okay, quite nice, but not too comfortable. And the train looks the way it looks because the design is not based on the ideas of erixx, but it's a typical design of the trains of the LNVG, which is in charge for the trains in Lower Saxony. That's also why this train is looking completely different than the last erixx train, the Stadler Flirt Akku, even though both are operated by erixx, but both of them are not designed by erixx. One is designed by the state of Schleswig-Holstein and the other one by the state of Lower Saxony, respectively the companies that are in charge for the public transport there. We've just crossed under the Elbe Seitenkanal, and now we've reached the station of Vieren, and now we are leaving the railway line Stendal-Uelzen, and now we're actually on the Mill railway line. The name is quite interesting because actually there are not that much windmills inside on this railway line.
Nächste Station Bad Bodenteich. Ausstieg in Fahrtrichtung rechts.
The landscape is also not too spectacular. It's a mainly flat landscape used for farming. We have a few bridges over canals. Those are the main sights during the ride. Multiple times we are meeting oncoming trains, as there are trains every 60 minutes, and it's a single track railway line in most places, and there's only this one railway line between Braunschweig and Uelzen on that line. Most important stops on the first part of the line are Bad Bodenteich, Wittingen and Gifhorn Stadt. And now we can listen to the sound of the train once again, shortly after leaving the station of Wittingen. Here we are crossing the Elbe Seitenkanal between the stations of Vorhopp and Schönewörde. In Witting there used to be a connection on to Celle and one to Oebisfelde, both of them without seeing passenger trains. Additional stops are then in Knesebeck, Warenholz and Triangel. The station of Neudorf-Platendorf has been closed in 2020. The most important stop then is Gifhorn Stadt. Gifhorn does have two different stations. One of them is closer to the city center, which is Gifhorn Stadt, which means Gifhorn City. And then there is another one, which is the actual station of Gifhorn, which is rather far away from the city center, but there you have connections also on to the Leerbahn to Wolfsburg and Hanover. Before reaching Gifhorn, here we are now crossing the river Aller, and we can listen to the sound of the train crossing the Aller Bridge. Here we are now at the station Gifhorn Stadt, which is in the city center. And if you want to go from here, for example, to Wolfsburg or Hanover, you have to take this train for one station to the actual station of Gifhorn. Then you have to change trains for the Enno, the train that I've shown you just a few videos ago. Unfortunately, there are not always good connecting times here in Gifhorn, so it can happen that you have to wait for quite a while until the train from Enno is coming to take you to Wolfsburg or Hanover. Here we are approaching the station of Gifhorn. Early on, trains had to change directions here to continue on to Braunschweig. To avoid this, a new railway line has been built, so we can continue in our direction, going parallel with the high-speed line to Wolfsburg and Berlin. Here we can see an ICE1 in a shortened version going to Berlin. And soon after we are crossing that railway line, going to make a 180 degrees turn through the city of Uelzen, a Büttel that is supposed to get a station approximately in 2026. And then we are reaching Röttgesbüttel, where we are meeting the former direct shorter route to Gifhorn, which caused the train to have a change of direction. But that happened already more than 100 years ago. We then continue through Meine, and then we are crossing the Midland Canal, and then we are approaching the city of Braunschweig. Currently there are only 2 stops in Braunschweig, but here we are at the former place of the station Wenden-Bechtsbüttel that saw traffic until 1988. Soon after we are going through Braunschweig-Bienrode that will receive a station from 2026. And then there will also be a station in Braunschweig-Krallenriede that is currently only planned without an exact date when it is supposed to open. And then we are reaching the already existing station of Braunschweig-Gliesmarode, where you also have connections to the tram of Braunschweig, and there used to be connections to Havelse and the Schunter Valley Railway. Both of them not in use anymore. And then after Braunschweig-Gliesmarode, we will already reach the main station of Braunschweig, where this train ride will end and the train will go back to Uelzen. And here we are now slowly approaching Braunschweig-Gliesmarode. Here we can see the former track from Havelse and Celle, but that's only used for freight trains, not for passenger trains anymore. And here we can see the tram line crossing it. So here we have a quite good connection onto the tram of Braunschweig. So if you want to go to the city center, it might be faster to leave the train here and continue with the tram instead of going to the main station, which we are reaching here in this moment. But of course also here you have a good connection on to the tram of Braunschweig and to long distance trains and regional trains. I've already shown you one train from here. And in the next video we will go to Braunschweig again with the RB40, and after that we will see another train line here from Braunschweig. But that's it for this video. Here you can see when this next video will be uploaded and the name of the song. Please consider to comment, like or share the video link, and if you want to see more train videos like that, make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video then.